Hello, I am Richard Himmer, and I'm the founder of the Himmer Center. Thank you for doing a little research into the process that we employ. I expect that you're not here because you're any different than anyone else. Now, you might admit that you maybe have a relationship challenge, or maybe you're overweight, or have an addiction to something, or have ADD, or you're doing this for someone else. That's fine. The difference between what you're doing and the rest of the world is that at least you're aware that there might be a way out there, hope, a solution for healing. That's the critical aspect. The process that we employ is something that is a lifestyle. It's what I've employed, it's how I got to where I am, because I had a lot of addictions. I had a lot of challenges in my life. And I've done a lot of research to get to this point, and I'm wanting to share that with people because it's something you can do at home. So we'll get to how long it takes in a minute, but that will kind of lead us to the aspect. This is not a permanent situation that we want ongoing forever. So the process of healing is just real simple. One, we have to identify cause. It isn't that we're going to put a Band-Aid on it. In other words, we want to get rid of as much medication as we can without, compromising anyone. The idea is medication rarely, if ever, does any healing. It simply puts a Band-Aid over a very deep, festering wound. And normally what we deal with is chronic illness, which is, you can kind of get a red flag from it because it's known by inflammation. Inflammation means something isn't working right, and we need to address it. You see, everyone here is hardwired to connect. When we don't connect, if there's an attachment challenge, attachment disorder, if you will, then it hurts. We feel pain. When we feel pain, we medicate. It's the medication that's creating a lot of the challenges. The medication looks like the following. You could be sabotaging a relationship. You could be having no boundaries and then looking out to try to get other people to affirm you or to show you affection. But it might be in such a way that creates harm to you. In other words, you don't have boundaries. So here are a couple of things that we work with inside the center, just to name a few, but it's a whole host of things. One, any kind of broken relationship, marriage, significant other, family type relationships, mother, children, grandparents, aunts, uncles, work, supervisor, direct report, building a culture. Addictions of almost any kind. The only thing that we don't move is that we're not a detox center. In other words, you don't come here to detox yourself. We want it, if you're gonna come here, it's got to be functional. And if you're on marijuana right now, it's compromising. It doesn't usually work because your mind gets altered. ADD, ADHD, any kind of chronic pain and illness. We have 3 steps, very straightforward. 1, we need to heal inflammation from the body. So we start inside out, healing the inflammation of the body, in other words, the gut microbiome. 2, we heal the mind. Here's our mind-body connection. The mind meaning your subconscious and unprocessed trauma and memories that were harmful from when you were younger. Sometimes you remember them, most times you don't at this stage. So you learn mindfulness. What a powerful tool mindfulness is, and including regression therapy. And then 3, after we've done the healing at the body and the mind, 3, we learn social skills, emotional intelligence, coping skills. How do we habituate new habits? How do we get ourselves in a position we don't go there again? It's very common for a client to call me on the phone, send me an email, or on their next appointment explaining, Dr. Himmer, I started acting out. And then I realized I don't even know why I'm acting out. I'm not even driven to it anymore. It was very distasteful. In other words, they've been healed from the cause, and now they need to learn new habits so they don't go back to the old way. New habits are doable through what we call neuroplasticity. It's something we didn't even believe existed when I was young. Neuroplasticity means if you do something often enough, you create new neurons, and neurons that fire together wire together. So what's going to happen is you've got a path that you walk on right now. There's your habit. If you want a new path to walk on, a new habit, you have to do it over and over again. Well, you just can't go out in the world and look for these experiences to happen, and it'll take you another 30 years to get you healed because it took you 30 years to get you to where you are now. Mindfulness. You can have new experiences up to 50 or 60 a day in 20 minutes of mindfulness time that you can never replicate outside the body. We're going to use the power of the subconscious for the healing power. Tremendous research on that. So how long does it take? The best answer is 12 to 18 months. If you're here longer than 12 to 18 months, there's only two reasons. One, you have healed, causation has been addressed, and you're thriving in an environment of coaching. So this becomes a coaching function rather than a therapy or a counseling function. Coaching means we know where we're going and we actually know how to get there. And I'm helping you work through it. I'm giving you the tools, and then you process, because I teach. It means I delegate the learning. You process the next step. It's phenomenal. Once you learn these basic skills and principles of behavior, how much healing can happen in between sessions. You just come in and chat with me, and then we go through the process again. 2, you haven't learned how to heal yet. Deliberate practice is the starting point. If you don't know how to deliberately practice happiness, joy, and well-being, it's going to be a challenge. We've not been taught that before. We teach deliberate practice. We teach you how to have happiness. We teach you how to have joy, and we teach you how to do it inside of a world called well-being. Deliberate practice leads to happiness, joy, and well-being, and then it leads to flow, your ultimate goal. And flow's where we're trying to go, where you live in a world of acceptance. I want to thank you again for looking into this process. It is phenomenal, the results that we're getting using the current research that kind of goes against the flow of Western medicine that seems to be pretty rigid. This is a very holistic approach using things you can do in your home. I wish you all the best. Take care now.